If I use my power more, I can even keep you from getting the job. If you don't like it, apologize.
I laughed at this. Please go ahead and do it. My name is Ava, and I am currently struggling as a new mom with my husband, Andrew. However, my husband, who is supposed to be struggling with me as a new father, is not here. To be honest, I could not realize his outrageous personality until I became pregnant with our child. My husband is a senior at work, 6 years my senior. And he was a smart senior who worked hard and did his job well. He was very calm and gentle when he followed up with me as my trainer. Although it is a common thing, we got to know each other in our private life and got married. As a newcomer to the workforce, I was delighted to have fallen in love with him and to have married him. It is not unusual for employees to get married within our company, but if they get married, they cannot work in the same department. After much discussion with the company, it was decided that I would be transferred. I was hired to work as an in-house patent attorney for Radiant after obtaining a patent attorney license, which is said to be difficult to obtain while I was still in college. During the first year after graduation, I happened to be assigned to the sales department where my husband was, as I was enrolled in various departments to learn about the company as a whole. So when I got married, they decided to assign me to the legal department little early. Then, after 5 years of marriage, I visited the hospital because of health problems and found out that I was 4 months pregnant. We were very happy that we were expecting a child, even though we had left the pregnancy to nature. However, as I entered the second trimester, the twinges returned and I was forced to take a 3-month leave of absence. Seeing me like this, my husband revealed his true nature.
Are you still sleeping?
My anemia is so bad that I can't get up.
What about dinner?
You ask me that under the circumstances? When I was working hard, we split the household chores between us. But as soon as I took a leave of absence, my husband threw all the housework on me.
You're home all the time, but you don't do a single chore.
Can you please stop? You're making me even sicker.
Wait a minute, that's a mental problem, isn't it? It has nothing to do with anemia. The point is that you are skipping work because of your pregnancy.
My husband watches TV at high volume without paying attention to me who is lying down. Moreover, he goes out of his way to open the door of the room in which I am sleeping to make the loud volume echo. Hey, close the door. I'm sure my husband can hear me. But he didn't even look at me. And then I learned a new side of my husband. While watching TV, he would complain about the women on the screen.
She's so ugly, I wonder why she's on TV. Wow, she's so fat. This guy is seriously bald as hell.
He complains to the TV all the time, too many to mention. Is this how TV is supposed to be enjoyed? I think you are free to say whatever you want by yourself. But please don't open the door to the room I sleep in and say such a thing. Hey, close the door. My husband ignores me. I couldn't stand the loud TV and my husband's comments on the TV, which I didn't want to hear, so I closed the door, feeling dizzy. Then I went back to bed. But he quickly opened the door. Why are you opening the door? My husband didn't answer and continued to watch TV at full blast. I couldn't stand it any longer and called my parents. My mother accepted my request to stay at her parents' house for a retreat. The environment at my parents' house was truly worthy of the name retreat. Even though I was laid up, they provided me with 3 well-balanced meals. My mother, father, and 2 younger sisters are very calm. When my sisters came home from school, they were the first to check on me and ask, "Are you okay?" and rub my stomach. My health has been gradually improving since my stay at my parents' house, and I can now eat my meals in the living room.
Dinner is ready.
Thank you.
Can I turn on the TV?
Yes, by all means. I was eating lunch with my mother and watching TV. Then she was laughing while watching TV.
This comedian is so funny. When the baby is born and things settle down, let's go to this shopping arcade.
I burst into tears as my mother calmly and happily watched TV. She was very surprised when she noticed that I was crying because I sniffed my nose.
What's wrong? Are you sick?
No. I'm fine.
What's wrong?
Living with Andrew isn't fun.
Why?
I told my mother, who had accepted me without asking any questions, everything.
So, that's what happened.
Yeah, he goes out of his way to open the door to my room. I didn't want to hear it, so I closed the door, but he opened it again right away. He complains about the TV too. I want to laugh with him like you.
It's so troublesome. You're going to have a baby.
I can't stand the thought of him doing that in front of the kids.
Well, we'd better talk it over.
I don't want to see him anymore.
Ava, you're going to be a mother. You can't just say you don't want to see him anymore. You have a child.
Well, yes. I decided to have a talk with my husband for the sake of my child. After my health had improved considerably, I cut my leave of absence to 2 months and returned to work. Then I returned to the house where I lived with my husband. The house was very clean and well kept. My husband seemed to have lived a decent life even though he lived alone. However, the smell was the only thing that bothered me. Is this what it means to be sensitive to smells when you are pregnant? And when I opened the door to my room, I found it to be the dirtiest room imaginable. It was like a dump. This was what the smell was. I wondered if he had been eating in this room, and the floor was covered with unwashed dishes and garbage that had not been taken out. Then my husband came home.
Oh, you're home.
This, what?
What?
My room, what?
Yeah, you left me alone to take care of the house. You went home to your parents. I mean, you've gotten fat. You're just fat. Don't get any fatter. If you break your promise, I'll divorce you.
Hey, you didn't talk like that before I got pregnant. Why did you suddenly change?
No, I've always been this way. You just didn't see it coming. If you leave me alone, if you pretend to be sick or go home, I'll punish you again.
What about our kid?
What?
If I put the kid first, you'll be on your own. That's what you do when your kids are little, right?
You're such an idiot. Of course I come first. Didn't you hear what I said? I don't give a shit about the kids. Come on, cook dinner.
I'm going to stay at my parents' home.
Oops, that's okay. You'll just get punished by me again.
In the end, there was no discussion. And at this point, I decided to divorce my husband. I went back to my parents' house and talked to them.
I didn't expect it to go that far. How should I put it? He is a persistent and troubled person.
Well, isn't he a sulking junk?
No, he is a sulking junkie.
What's that? That's totally different. My family made me smile. Me and this child will be fine. My family welcomes me warmly. Time passed and a healthy boy was born. They said parental leave would be a year, but with my mother's support I returned to work 6 months after his birth. It was all for the sake of my son. I would work hard and provide for my son. I then used my day off to go to my husband's house to divorce him. When he saw me, he grinned wickedly and fluttered the divorce papers in front of me.
I'm divorcing a fat guy like you. Here's the divorce papers.
Oh, my. You're talking fast. Now I can write. When I went to pick up the divorce papers, my husband hurriedly crumpled them up. What are you doing?
Not until you hear my side of the story.
What?
Listen to me. Look at me.
No, you just said we're getting a divorce. I heard you. Now get a divorce.
You can get a log after getting a divorce from me.
No, I haven't had any problems without you for the past 6 months. It's been pretty peaceful.
I'm in sales.
So?
I'm the one who gets the work. That's why you guys have jobs.
Are you serious?
A company is only as good as its salespeople. Respect me more. Respect me.
Just write the divorce papers. I took out the divorce papers from my bag. My husband tried to tear it up and throw it away. What do you think will happen if I tear it up? My husband's hand stopped. Then I took out an IC recorder and my phone from my bag. I recorded everything we just talked about. My husband took the recorder from me. My phone is connected with my peer. Even if you tear up the divorce papers here and erase the data on the IC recorder, she is listening to this conversation right now. If you don't file divorce papers right now, I'm going to have my peers file a grievance with the sales department. What are you going to do? Write it down? Or tear it up? The husband was paralyzed and filled out divorce papers. I don't want alimony, I don't want child support, and I want you to stay the hell away from us. All right. I got the divorce papers. I quickly left the house. Thanks, Mom.
It's okay. Hurry up and go to the city hall.
My phone was connected to my mother. I was relieved that my lie had not been exposed. I really could have asked for help from my peers, but this was someone I had once pledged my life to. I couldn't bring the company into it, no matter what kind of asshole he was. The company is a lifeline for my husband and me. However, he made this last act of mercy from me worthless by himself. After the divorce was finalized, we became the target of rumors because of our position within the company. My ex-husband took this opportunity to spread a negative campaign about me in every possible way, calling me a horrible wife, bad wife, morally harassed wife, and so on. But I kept my mouth shut and did nothing to refute the rumors. It is often said that a mother is strong. For the sake of my kid, no matter what the circumstances, I can stand tall and square. I am not at fault in any way, except that I was blind to men. As I was washing the cup in the hot water supply room, my ex-husband called out to me from behind.
Yo.
I was surprised. I mean, why are you here?
I came to see you.
No, I don't need to.
You're in trouble.
What?
Now you're in a lot of trouble.
What are you talking about?
Don't be so tough. You're the talk of the town.
Oh, really? My ex-husband, probably picturing me in a weakened state, would not take that kind of attitude. I've got work to do. As I was leaving the room, my ex-husband stood in front of me.
This is what happens when you make me angry.
So what? My ex-husband, annoyed by my insensitive attitude, began to get frustrated.
So what? You're getting a bad name in the company right now.
Yeah, so?
You're in trouble.
No, not at all.
If I use my power more, I can even keep you from getting the job. If you don't like it, apologize.
I laughed at that. Go ahead, LOL. Do you know what I do now? You're the one who can say that, aren't you, Mr. Development? I'm a patent attorney. How can you, a salesman, stop me from doing my job? Patent attorneys have nothing to do with sales. Oh, what? Are you saying that you're going to patent your storytelling skills? If you're going to apply for it, please make sure it's not me. Then my husband groaned, and took up the cup I was holding and swung it vigorously. I get hit. I meditate as quickly as I can.
That's it.
I heard an unfamiliar voice. When I opened my eyes, the general sales manager and the general manager were seizing my ex-husband.
I thought it was a lover's quarrel, so I came over and, oh my God.
My ex-husband was stunned by the arrival of the general manager.
I'm sorry about my salesperson. Are you hurt?
No. I'm fine.
You're talking too loud. I can hear you all the way to the conference room.
The ex-husband was startled and stiffened when he was confronted by the general manager. My ex-husband was taken away by the general manager. That was the last time I saw him. Because after this, he voluntarily resigned. There was a conference room next to the hot water room where my ex-husband was attacking me, and the regular meetings were attended by the general manager, the general sales manager, the deputy general manager of the legal department, and the aces of each department. Of course, the meeting was attended by all the sales aces. My ex-husband, who took advantage of my attitude, shouted abuse at me so loudly that everyone present at the meeting could hear him, and his evil deeds were exposed in the open. My ex-husband, who had lied so much about me being a harasser and a horrible wife, had his position reversed and was now rumored to be a violent husband and a power-morer husband, and he couldn't stand it. He couldn't take it anymore. The mercy I had shown him in the end was destroyed by his own hand. In other words, he got what he deserved. I have no way of knowing what will happen to my ex-husband, but I'm just glad that he is gone from my sight. The truth will come out one day. The source of my stress is now gone. I am going to work harder and be a proud mother to my son.